Hey guys, Jeff here with Red Oak. Let's talk about starter. What's the big deal? Okay. Starter is essential when installing your roofing system. So as you can see here, we've torn off the roof and now we have your synthetic felts underneath here. But the first thing that goes on your eaves and your rake is going to be your starter shingle. Okay. That is basically a shingle that's upside down. It has this adhesive mark right here and it's very specific to your manufacturer's brand of shingle that's going back up there. A lot of warranties are not valid with your roof unless you use the same brand approved starter that really kind of marries up with that shingle. Okay. And it's very, very important and it defends against wind damage and really just holding the roofing system together. So this is what it looks like when you're first putting it on here. Typically, it's going to come in a double one of these. So you fold them to actually, it looks like a shingle, but you only use half of it. So we actually adhere this down, and then the first shingle will actually go on this, and that little adhesive line right there is perfectly lined up. So if you're using like a malarkey shingle, a malarkey starter, a malarkey shingle, they line up just right to adhere. And if you're using maybe a Certainty or Owens Corning or Atlas, the same applies. So um, here we are with the shingle that's actually being installed. So you'd see this adhesive right here that's down here. Well, on the bottom side of this shingle right here, there's another strip as well that marries up and is perfectly aligned for that shingle. So it adheres and it seals down. So when wind hits, that it doesn't just get peeled up off your roofing system. That's what a starter is. So um, now, what I've seen this in a lot of insurance carriers now. Instead of having actual starter material on their estimate, so if you have maybe a hail or a wind claim, then they're going to list the starter material on your estimate. And instead of having actual starter material, they'll say 3-tab roofing material. And what they're saying is they want us to buy an actual 3-tab shingle, an actual roofing shingle, and then cut it along here and then flip it over and use it as a starter because it saves them just a couple bucks. But actually, it does not save them money because there's so much waste. So the starter is about this size, but we actually get 2 starters for every single piece of starter here. And if we were using 3-tab, we're going to cut all this off right here in the middle, and we're going to lose all this material. It's just wasted material. So like half of it just goes in the trash, and it's actually more cost effective to install an actual brand specific starter on your roof than it is by just grabbing some leftover materials. Now, maybe an old, chuck in a truck roofer that has some extra 3-tabs laying around. He said, "Hey, I'll save you some money." Well, I'm sure they're cutting corners in other areas, and then your warranty is not going to be valid from your shingle manufacturer. So that's why I have this 3-tab roofing kind of layout here. This is what an actual shingle starter looks like. So there's a perforated line right here. And so we actually tear this in half. And this is actually 2 pieces of starter that's about 3 feet. So you get about 6 feet out of each piece of starter here. And that's more brand specific starter. Once it's actually installed, this is, basically what it would look like. So you end up having this starter that's right here, this adhesive. So say if it's malarkey, or we do a lot of malarkey and Atlas, then the shingle itself, when you lay it down, has an adhesive right about that level on that line. So that shingle lays down and seals up just right. Okay. And then the same, we're going up the rakes here. So we're going up your rakes here. So your starter goes along your eaves and your rakes. And that's what starter is. It's required to have the brand specific starter on there to honor your roof warranty. That's the last thing you want to hear. Maybe it's 3 years later and all of a sudden you have a big windstorm. We have some 50, 60 mile an hour winds coming through and, it tore off some shingles and you say, "Hey, I got a warranty." They're warranted up to 100 miles an hour, before they tear off. Well, then we get the representative out there and all of a sudden they find out, well, no, you didn't use the correct starter. You used some 3-tabs or just some generic starter. And this is why we use the brand specific starter in order to install your new roofing system. Okay. Thanks, guys. Jeff with Red Oak. And that is, what is Starter about?